All right, guys, here we go. Gonna get this thing underway. 2018 U.S. Indoor Skydiving Competition here at iFLY Virginia Beach. And we're gonna start it off with two-way VFS rookie division. Team Arizona Double. They fly out of iFLY Phoenix. It's Mary Traub and Nick Traub.
I had the pleasure of talking to the both of them yesterday while they were just getting out of the tunnel, and it's a mother-son team. They were super excited about flying, and one really cool thing while I was talking to Mary, I guess Nick asked her what she wanted for Mother's Day, and this is what Mary wanted. She wanted to compete with her son at the national championship, so here they are, and good luck, guys. We look forward to seeing what you're going to bring, so have fun, and here we go.
Very cool. That's one of the cool things about indoor skydiving. It's one of the very few activities that the whole family can participate in together at the same time. You know, there's other types of sports that whether they're team sports or individual sports, it's not often you can all get out there together. So indoor skydiving is a cool thing that everybody can do together.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't matter your age. It's just really all about getting in there, having a good time. A lot of the times you'll find that the kids are going to pick it up quicker than us old folks up here. But,
absolutely.
They look happy. I can hear the wind coming up.
They've got a kid and an adult woman. They're destined for greatness.
So team
Double Trouble.
Arizona Double Trouble on the block. First round of the competition. Here we go with the speed. Now the way we do it with VFS two-way, there are a couple of different rounds. We have vertical rounds where the flyers will be flying in a head-up or head-down orientation. And then the other rounds are going to be belly and back rounds where the wind speed is much lower and the flyers are going to be flying in a belly to earth or back to earth orientation. I believe it's 2 and 4 rounds of the 6 total are going to be low speed rounds.
For the rookie division, I believe it'll just be belly and back.
That's correct.
So after this, we'll get into the intermediate portion of the VFS competition, and that's when we'll start introducing the vertical skydiving. So here we go, they're underway.
Oh, I think they're in there for their speed check. Yep, just testing out the wind speed, making sure that they're both on the same page, they're comfortable, loosening it up. First round jitters. Yep, so this is just a speed check.
If they want to make any last minute adjustments and fine tune that wind speed, this is the opportunity for them to decide on that. Because right after this, they're going to start round 1.
Also this year, we have a new bottom camera installed below the net, so it's going to give you a nice, interesting perspective of the flyers relative to the perspective the judges are going to be seeing, where we can see all of the grips. And they're out for their speed check now.
What you guys will notice throughout the weekend here, especially for the VFS portion of this, you're going to see a lot of white gloves on black suits. And sometimes people wonder, you know, hey, why the color change, or why the difference, why the contrast? And it's exactly because of that contrast, so that the judges could more easily see the grips to confirm that they did in fact get each point. When we say point, for those of you guys out there that don't know, a point is when they get a solid grip. They can't move on to the next point until you've made solid contact with that first grip, and then on and on and on throughout the sequence.
Repeat, 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 absolutely. In the tunnel now, we have our first intermediate team.
That's going to be Team Epic Air out of iFLY Atlanta, James Raymer and Charlie Bomer.
They're getting in there for their wind speed check.
It's a sweet little iFLY suit that guy's got on.
So you'll notice already that the wind speed's up a little bit higher. They're doing some SIP flying, checking out their wind speeds, making sure everything is good to go, because once they are back in the tunnel, it's going to be their first round. Everything is going to be counting. Out for their speed check. Up next, Team 150, built overnight, flying out of iFLY Austin. It is Courtney Moore and Mike Hurl.
iFLY Austin, my longtime home tunnel. I'm not familiar with Courtney. She might have started flying after I left, but I know Mike, and Mike's a good flyer, and he's been around for a while. So this might be a little bit of player coach.
And the wind speed's coming up. They're getting to that vertical orientation. So in the intermediate class, there is no head down flying. It's only head up. Excuse me on
just
that.
informed of a rule change. It's hard to tell, not rule change, but a order change. It's hard to tell with the helmets on. This team, Heavy Metal out of Sacramento. That's Elijah and Haig. Little Elijah, that kid's a ripper. So we'd love to tell you who's in the tunnel right now. Hopefully it's built overnight, but not actually sure about this.
Again, each team is going to hop in for their speed check. Speed check is a minute. Give them enough time to feel out the wind, make sure their wind speeds are set to the speed that they want.
All right, you guys can hear, well, maybe you can hear it at home, the tunnel wind speed pick up a little bit when they get the vertical formation as opposed to the belly or back flying. They need a bit more wind speed because they have less surface area touching that wind, so it requires more speed to keep them up. There's Mike, yeah, there at iFLY Austin. Recognize his face once he gets the visor up. Haven't seen his jumpsuit in a little while. All right, here we go. Team 151, Stop Touching Me at iFLY Baltimore. This is John Abel and Patrick Gustafson. Two instructors.
Yep, judging by the jumpsuits.
Now we're going to request the vertical speed change. So what you see right here, this kind of seated position, that's what we call sit flying. For those of you at home that aren't super familiar with indoor skydiving, definitely a more difficult skill. That's why it's not in the rookie and only in intermediate and up categories. And then what you'll see in the advanced class is head down. They'll be upside down, which is the most challenging position to fly in. Again, because the wind speed's so much faster, there's less of a margin for error, and you have much less surface area touching the wind to hold you up.
Sure. Okay, and here we go next with Team 152. Pink Glitter Unicorns. They're flying out of iFLY Loudon. It is Swati and Patina.
I think they need to turn the wind down a little bit. I think that's Swati in the pink. She got blown up above the ring there for a second, but they make the adjustment. That's what this minute's for, just to make sure they got the wind speed dialed in exactly the way they want it. Now they're going to ask for the sit fly portion of the wind speed, which obviously needs to be a lot faster. There they go. So for those of you at home watching, you see the white portion above the glass, that's called the diffuser. The air actually starts to slow down a little bit once you get up there. It's built intentionally that way. But the competitors, even though they have that quote-unquote working space, that's not where they want to be during this competition. They want to be down in the flight chamber, in the glass area. That way the judges have a very clear view of all of the grips throughout the sequence of points. So they want to do everything they can to stay out of the diffuser and stay down in the flight chamber.
And in the tunnel now, we have Team 201, Cunning Stunts, flying out of Paraclete XP.
Man, I'm leaving that one to you all weekend long. I'm not going to attempt to say that.
I think Ashley Goldstein did me a favor there. So we have Ashley Goldstein in the tunnel with her partner and teammate Lauren Thacker. I know Ashley pretty well. She can rip in there in the tunnel.
And Lauren is a regular flyer at Paraclete. I want to say it's her stepdad owns the tunnel.
Okay.
She has some relation to the tunnel. I don't know exactly what it is. But yeah, she's a regular flyer at Paraclete, and there's a lot of rippers out there. So we expect to see good things out of this team throughout the weekend. Oh, we recognize these jumpsuits, don't we?
Yes, we do. This is Team iFLY, VA Beach 2, excuse me.
Hometown team, yeah. Hometown boys.
We have Severin Laverius and Dominic Pizzini.
So Severin, the son of our very own general manager, Jason, here at iFLY Virginia Beach. So he's definitely familiar with this tunnel.
And Dominic is the son of the CEO and owner here at iFLY Virginia Beach, Bob Pizzini. So both of them have been flying here since this facility came to be in about late 2015, early 2016. I know these kids pretty well. I've watched them come a long way in their flying, and I'm excited to see how they're going to perform here today and across the weekend.
There we see some head down flying for the first time. Maybe we'll get a little glimpse of it again before they get out, but there we go. So again, head down, much more difficult to fly in that orientation. Wind speed's got to be faster. You need to be much more efficient with your body position. And for VFS, obviously you're moving your hands around to take the grips, so it changes things a lot. So it's definitely a difficult skill to acquire, but once you get it, there's no cooler feeling than being upside down in the wind.
Absolutely true. Now in the tunnel for their speed check, another Virginia Beach team. We have Team 203 Tactical Unicorns, which includes Daniela Pizzini and Kira Bishardi. Daniela is the daughter of the CEO here, Bob Pizzini. She has been flying here as well since we've opened.
I think it's Bisharati.
Bisharati, excuse me.
Just to get that right. But yeah, I'm sure that won't be the first name we chop up over the weekend, but we'll get it right by the end of this, guys.
We apologize to all the competitors, everybody watching at home if we butcher a name. We're doing our best up here.
We claim to be experts in the different disciplines of flying, not in the pronunciation of names we don't know. All right, team touch and go at iFLY FS Bay in next.
FS Bay is made up of Eric Busto and Chris Reynolds.
And they are both instructors. Chris, I want to say, is an examiner.
I think he is an examiner.
Yeah, Chris has been around for a long, long time.
And there we go. That's that nice bottom view cam that we were talking about. This is the view that the judges are going to be using when they go to make all of their decisions on points and busts. So for those of you who are a little unfamiliar with what we have going on here, a bust is when a team goes for a point. A point is part of the draw. The draw is all preset. Every team is going to be doing the same draw each round. If they miss a point, if they don't have the proper grips, or if one doesn't take a complete grip, that's considered a bust, and they don't get the point for it. So that view is going to come in very handy.
Don't forget, another way to bust is touching the net in between points. For example, one of the maneuvers might be grip over under grip, where you take a grip, whether it's on the hand or on the foot, that's determined by the draw. One flyer passes over another and then back under. They cannot touch the net between the two grips. So it'd be grip, over, back under, and then grip again. If they do touch the net in the middle, that's a bust. The point won't count.
Excellent point there. So if you do notice that and you're wondering why did they get that point? Sometimes it's hard to see the contact in the net in the video, so just keep that in mind.
All right, guys, so here's something to take notice of right now. This is Team Double Vision out of Tampa. I know these guys real well. James Rogers, tiny little guy in the black, and then Lane Paquin. Lane, one of the best skydivers in the world, long-time tunnel instructor, tunnel flyer, wingsuit, base jumper extraordinaire. He's just, you know, he lives the skydive lifestyle. Player coach right here. I saw James learn to fly on his head. This kid learns so fast, and he's come so far. It's awesome, but notice James has a very tight jumpsuit on, which is great. You know, you can go fast. There's not a lot of drag on it. But it takes less wind to hold him in the air than it does Lane because he's so much bigger. So that's why you'll see Lane in the much baggier jumpsuit. They wouldn't be able to fly at the same wind speed unless Lane had that extra drag on his jumpsuit to hold him up. So if you wonder why some people look like they're in the 90s hip-hop groups and some people have skinny jeans on, there's the answer.
That's exactly right.
When we get to the dynamic portion of this competition, everybody will be in the skinny jeans jumpsuits because you want to go as fast as possible, least amount of drag.
Less drag, more speed. In the tunnel now, we have Team 14K out of iFLY Oceanside. This is one of our announcers who'll be joining us a little bit later when he's not in the tunnel competing. That is Bobby Alcock there in the black and blue suit, along with his teammate, Ali Fox. So this is a pickup team. I know Bobby very well. I've worked alongside him since I got into the sport in 2015, and I've known Ali since then as well. They've just made a pickup team not that long ago. They had one maybe 2 training sessions out in Oceanside before they came here, so they're looking to have a good time today and just see what they can pull off for the weekend.
Up next, Recreational Hazard XP. This is Joey Baker and Tracy Holman, and they're flying out of Paraclete. Joey is the pilot for the Golden Knights jump team out there, and he's actually flying 4-way VFS with 3 of the Golden Knights this weekend as well.
I did not know. That's awesome.
Met Joey during my time in Austin, Texas. Good guy ever, and it's good to see him here again this weekend. All right, guys, so you see as they do those front flips, they start to drift up a little bit. That's kind of what I was referring to earlier. They want to make sure that they don't drift up too high, not only to potentially get themselves out of the judge's view of the grips. You know, the bottom camera can't solve all the problems, but also it takes more time when you're traveling up and down, you know, because this is a 3-dimensional activity, if you will, and the rounds are based on speed. So the more you can stay in one spot, the more efficient you're going to be. The faster you'll go, the better your scores going to be.
Absolutely. Less vertical separation, less time to close the distance, and you'll notice that in the teams that are very good at this, that they don't really have any drift apart vertically or horizontally. They stay really tight flying together, and that's how they maximize their points while they're in there for their round. In here now, we have Team 254, iFLY Denver Fly Girls, flying out of iFLY Denver.
They got a real veteran on their team here in the black suit, Sydney Kennan. I've seen her at least 5 or 6 competitions, and she is an absolute ripper of a flyer.
You're going to see Sydney quite a few events throughout the competition. I see her about every month or so in iFLY Oceanside. She comes out there to train with her dynamic partner.
What do you know about Rainey Schmaltz? Seems like a good flyer, but I'm not very familiar with her. If she's on a team with Sydney, though, she must be good.
Must be.
All right, the Roans. Benifer. Ben and Jennifer Roan. Ben, one of the greatest flyers in the world, longtime Paraclete instructor, now coach extraordinaire, travels, coaches, always smiling, good times, and Jen is one of the main reasons that these new iFLY locations get up and running as efficiently as they do. So this looks like it's going to be our final speed check. We're going to have a short break after this, and then we'll get straight into round number 1. These guys, they're flying 2-way dynamic this weekend as well, and this is a 14-foot tunnel. And what I mean by that is 14 feet in diameter, so 14 feet across. They didn't have the time to train in a 14, so they trained in a 12. So, but they're so experienced, that's not going to affect them this weekend.
All right, guys, we are going to break. We will see you in a few minutes. Starting off with VFS Rookie Round 1.
All right, see you guys.
The dream of flight is as old as human imagination, one that transcends all cultures and ages. Until recently, only a few people could live that dream, but not anymore. iFLY's mission is to make this dream a reality for everyone. In 1998, iFLY created modern indoor skydiving by inventing the technology to make it safe and fun for all. iFLY is not a ride, it's an interactive experience. You control how your body moves. You decide how high you go. Every flight is different, and every flight is better than the last. Here's how it works. iFLY's patented high-efficiency fans power this amazing experience. They generate up to 120 miles per hour of wind that is directed down the sides of the tunnel, under the building, and back up through the flight chamber. The result is a smooth, wall-to-wall cushion of air on which anyone from ages 3 to 103 can safely fly. To date, iFLY has flown more than 6 million people on 4 continents, and even at sea. iFLY created the market and is now recognized globally as a premium entertainment brand. iFLY operates 37 tunnels in 10 countries, with an additional 29 currently under construction. The company has identified more than 800 potential tunnel locations globally. Flying is no longer limited to a lucky few. iFLY is making the dream of flight a reality for everyone.
And we are back. Welcome back. Here we are up next with the two-way VFS Rookie Open round number 1. So we just saw the speed checks from all the VFS competitors. Now we'll be getting into the rounds that count.
First team up, Arizona Double Trouble, the mother-son team.
I went to a hockey coaching seminar last summer, and one of the presenting coaches told us about this program he does at his ice rink, where they help inner city kids who would never be able to ice skate or figure skate. I came back from that seminar energized. I threw the concept on the table to my management team, and together we developed a program called CTAC Soars. We selected 12 kids from the 5th grade. It's a 13-week program that we donate, and they come and fly with us, and we're teaching these kids pride and confidence that's going to be with them for the rest of their lives.
When I first got the notification that I was going to be here, I never even knew of the program. I love to fly. Whenever you get into the wind tunnel, it's like everything blows away.
We're making a difference in children's lives that are local in our community. These are kids that live in our neighborhood. My favorite part of the day every week is sitting down with them after the speaker has spoken and the food's being handed out, and I sit and just chat with these kids. It's just been awesome.
So we had to write a letter why we wanted to be an iFLY and why should we be picked.
To be able to read the essays before, a lot of the kids were very unsure at the beginning, very nervous. Just to see them develop and grow and overcome their fears is a huge encouragement for me. Maybe I should push myself in everyday life as well.
I like it, the fact that us school children can come here and really relax and just come in and fly and have a great time.
I think it's awesome and they should do it again next year.
And we are back. Okay, sorry for that second delay there. We are about to kick off round 1.
Two-way VFS rookie, sorry.
Yep.
Sorry, Dan?
No, you're good. They're about to enter the tunnel. The wind is going to be coming up soon, and we will be underway. So, just to give you a little synopsis on what's going on here, each team in each round has a draw. The draw is a preset move. Each round has, let's see, 3 to 4 points per round. Every team is going to be trying to get through them as fast as they possibly can within our working time. And we're going to just kind of roll through round number 1, 2, and 3, I believe, right now.
Yeah, and they're going to repeat those 3 or 4 moves each time. So think of each point, again, being a grip. So it's get through the sequence as fast as possible and then repeat, all within your working time. And then it's an accumulation of points within that working time that determines the winner.
Correct.
And this is a Mother's Day gift right here for
that lady on the left there, Mary.
Mary to compete with her son, Nick.
So excited to see what they bring to the table here. So, first live action round of the 2018 U.S. National Indoor Skydiving Champion competition here at iFLY Virginia Beach. This is Team 100, our rookie class team. Team Double Trouble.
All right, so notice the grips they're taking right now so the time doesn't start until their feet leave the net. So they take the grips, that way as soon as they leave, they've already got the first point. It's not cheating, it's being intelligent.
That's correct. A lot of what VFS is engineering the points and making them as efficient as possible. And that's done from skill, learning to engineer the dive flow, and getting good coaching from somebody who knows exactly what they're talking about and what they've experienced, and passing that knowledge and information along.
Absolutely, couldn't have said it better. It's not just the technique of being able to fly the maneuver, but it's determining which way you want to approach each different piece. You don't have to rotate one way or another. It's what's the most efficient for the subsequent point.
Right.
You know, what's going to put you in the optimal position to get to the next point even faster and more efficiently. And you're right, engineering that is one of the biggest parts. And we're going to see here in the open division later today, Jason Russell leading his team. This guy's a ninja when it comes to VFS, probably best in the world. Him, Mickey, Rook, and I'm not sure who else is on the team with him. And Dusty, oh, excuse me. There we go. Yeah, those guys are clearly the example of what to, of how to engineer the dive flow and what to do for VFS. So they're definitely going to be the team to beat in the open division. All right, coming up next, Team 101, Epic Air, James and Charlie, coming out of iFLY Atlanta. Or no, wait, we did this last time. They're giving us the wrong list again. Is this Team 200? Yeah, sorry about the confusion, guys.
Okay, we are looking at Team Epic Air out of iFLY Austin, or excuse me, iFLY Atlanta. All right, in the tunnel right now is Team 150, built overnight. Courtney Moore and Mike Earl.
Straight out of the headquarters, iFLY Austin. Spent a lot of time there, so I have some favoritism.
Yes, like you said, straight from the mothership, as Waj Chandri likes to call it.
But you know what they don't have in iFLY Austin?
What's that?
The beach 2 blocks away like we do here in Virginia Beach. So it's nice to be here. It's nice to have the ocean so close.
And beautiful weather for this weekend of the
Absolutely.
competition. Couldn't ask for better weather. We had an awesome reception last night, intro to the ceremony, intro to the competition, and the weather was perfect. And the weather is always good in the tunnel. These guys are turning quick points. In that bottom cam, you can see their hand placement, which is what the judges are looking for. You have to be able to see the hand make the grip, make the point.
And you can see, if she had black gloves on, you wouldn't be able to see definitively where her grips were on his legs and arms. So it does matter at what point of the arm you grab, depending on the draw. So that's why you'll see a lot of white gloves or just bare skin against the black suit.
Yeah, that contrast is extremely important. Okay, 151, Team Stop Touching Me, out of iFLY Baltimore, John Abel and Patrick Gustafson.
So this is an interesting draw where you see one flyer, and the draws are they're predetermined, but they're not chosen. It's random. They're randomly generated. Thank you very much. And it just coincidentally for this draw, one flyer stays on his back for this whole round, and the other flyer is switching between belly and back to take the different grips.
Doing all the work.
Yeah, most of the time you'll see both flyers moving. The draw generator just happened to generate a strange one where one flyer stays stationary the whole time, but adds a different level of complexity to it because only one flyer can move.
So in each class, rookie, intermediate, advanced, and open, you're going to see different draws, but for that class, everybody is going to be doing the same draw. So for these, this is the last team of our intermediate category. This is the Pink Unicorns, team 152 out of iFLY Loudon, and they're going to be performing the same draw that you saw the last 3 teams in there doing. And then once we move into the two-way VFS Open, which is coming up next, you're going to see a slightly different opening round, round 1.
Yeah, because the open division will also have head-down portions. But as you guys saw during the speed checks before, you saw a lot of sit flying, the vertical formation stuff. The first, I want to say it's the first and fourth round, I will find out, but are just belly and back. Subsequent rounds will have the vertical aspects to them as well. So you'll be able to tell right away when they get in based on wind speed and orientation. But some of the draws are just belly and back, even in the advanced category.
And they are out. Now getting right underway into our first advanced team, team number 200. This is going to be Team Heavy Metal flying out of iFLY Sacramento.
Oh, you know what I said Elijah earlier? This is Alicia.
Alicia.
I didn't think he spelled his name like that. Guys, we're just getting set up here, working out a little bugs.
Things are going to smooth out soon enough. So you'll see now, getting into the advanced rounds and open rounds, teams launching from the door. They can no longer launch from the net. Everything is done from the door.
So the clock starts the moment they get into the wind, they leave the door. But you'll still see them attempt to take as much of a grip as they can before they leave the door to kind of shorten the time on that first point.
And as you can tell here, slightly different variation from what we saw in the last round by way of a different point, different draw for this particular set of competitors.
But coincidentally, one flyer on their back the whole time. Yep. Again, this is completely coincidence. That's not the way it's done. But you can see, as we talked, we mentioned earlier, the engineering of the points. You see how she would grab both of his legs. That's one of the points. But the flyers don't need to be lined up single file to do that. She can cheat it a little bit. I mean, quote unquote cheat. It's being smart about it. As long as her hands touch the legs, you know, right to left and left to right, she doesn't need to be single file, as I said. Watch when she goes back to the belly. There's both the grips. As long as the hands are in the right place, good to go. You can move on to the next point. And that's something the judges are looking out for sure.
Okay, now team 101 on the clock. Team Cunning Stunts out of Heracles XP. We have Ashley Goldstein and Lauren Thacker. Ashley's the one doing all the movement right here. Lauren staying stationary. These girls are turning some quick points right now.
Yeah, they're looking pretty smooth in there so far.
Staying off the net but flying dangerously close.
That's a good little move to see how when it goes to the position where she's going to grab both her feet. Yeah, Lauren will actually move her left leg a little closer to make the grip even easier for Ashley to get. And that just comes from experience and practice.
All right, getting into the door now, Team VA Beach 2. Flying out of their home tunnel here, iFLY Virginia Beach. This is Seven Laverius and Dominic Pizzini.
Do you think these kids got any free tunnel time to practice for this?
I don't know about that.
Well, I hope so.
They may have worked out some sort of deal.
Yeah, they're going to take out the trash
a
at night.
Trade, yeah. Clean the dishes, clean the goggles.
Well, they're looking great so far.
So
a little I couldn't tell if he actually touched, maybe. We'll see if the judges penalize him for that net touch.
I don't know if you're going to see two teams more coordinated in their outfits than these guys. Same shoes, same helmets, clearly the same suit.
I'm a big fan, clearly. This is the U.S. National Indoor Skydiving Competition. They're really fitting the theme.
And they're out. That was a good round for Dominic and Zev there.
I'm sure we've got some people at home that are dying for one of us to say this, but may the 4th be with you, sir.
Yeah, and you as well.
Thank you, my friend.
And
I'm not even a big Star Wars guy, but I think that's
likewise
pretty fun.
Tactical Unicorns, Team 203, another team flying out of iFLY Virginia Beach. This is Daniela Pizzini and Kira.
You got it this time.
Bereshot.
Besharati. We'll get Dan to dial that name in by the end of this. We got 6 rounds to do it, bud.
I'll get it by one of them.
So hey, what you can see, it's a great perspective from this under the net camera. The flyers 100% want to avoid being underneath one of the other flyers for any extended period of time because they're stealing the wind, they're burbling the other flyer, and that just means they're blocking the wind from them, and that's going to cause the flyer on the top to sink, potentially fall on the flyer below and make them hit the net. So even though it needs to be done momentarily, it's got to be quick. That way you're not stealing too much wind and affecting the flyer above you's flight skills.
Okay, on the door now. Team number 250. They are our first two-way VFS open team. Team Touch and Go flying out of SFA. We have Chris Reynolds and Eric Busto on the clock now.
There's some over-unders, as we alluded to earlier.
Good vertical over-under. You're going to see quick hand movements with these guys. They look pretty proficient in there. The grips
White
almost
gloves.
look like slaps. And as long as they are done together in synchronicity, the point is going to count. You don't have to hold it for any period of time. You just have to make simultaneous contact. That's a good perspective of the over-under there. So flying through the other flyer, like Daniel alluded to, is going to take away their wind.
But you'll see when they do, they both move a little bit. It's not as if one's stationary and the other guy's going all the way around. You can shorten the time a little bit by both pieces moving.
Good presentation.
Oh, and
there.
a fancy layout to get out the door. Bonus points for the layout. Nice job.
All right, and our
There's
first player
Lane
coach
and James. Team Double Vision out of Tampa. Again, Lane with the baggier jumpsuit because it takes much less wind to hold him up than it does little James. But he can accommodate with that drag on the jumpsuit.
I got to watch James fly earlier yesterday, and he was practicing for his free routine when he's flying later on in freestyle junior intermediate, and man, can he rip in that tunnel. It was exciting to watch him fly.
When we first opened Tampa, I had the pleasure of doing a little bit of coaching with him before Lane kind of took over for that job, but watched the kid learn how to fly on his head, and I have never seen somebody learn so. Oh, look, see, there's a great example of player coach. James, I guess maybe forgot or got a bit confused on where they were in the draw, and Lane pushed him back over and said, no, not yet. You need to do one more point before you go over. So very aware of the situation Lane was, and able to make that correction and save the point and hopefully not penalize them.
And there they are playing at the end of their round, so the working time for the round was over. You get to do a little bit of fun stuff.
A little bit of showing off never hurt, huh?
Yeah.
Up next, Team 14K out of Oceanside.
This is Bobby Alcock and his partner, Allie Fox. You see them about to take grips in the door.
Our broadcast partner, Bobby Alcock.
There's the count, and they're in. So you notice with the teams that are a little bit more practiced and polished, the separation on their over-under is going to be much smaller, giving them a quicker time to the next point. The less time you waste here, the faster you get to the next point, the more cumulative points you'll end up with through the round, as long as you're not busting.
All right, great round one for Team 14K.
So Bobby, you'll see there, he's flying out of iFLY Oceanside, still rocking that old competition iFLY Virginia Beach suit that we had a couple years back. I think it's time for him to do a little upgrade. Next, Team 253, Recreational Hazard XP, Joey Baker and Tracy Holloman, flying out of Paraclete. Again, same draw, same class. See what these guys have to do. Now, some of you at home are wondering why you'll see a competitor with a short sleeve jumpsuit as opposed to a long sleeve jumpsuit. That's really all personal preference. Obviously, no sleeves, no drag, but again, personal preference on the part of the flyer.
Much more difficult to fly in a shorty, especially if it's short pants and short sleeves.
Sure.
But you definitely see some of that this weekend.
I never personally understood it. I don't like flying in a shorty, especially in the tunnel. In the sky is one thing, but here.
Yeah, when you're skydiving in Florida, it's nice to have a shorty. All right, up next, iFLY Denver Fly Girls, Sydney Kennett and Rainey Schmaltz.
I think you're going to see a lot out of these two this weekend.
Yeah, they're fast already. Watch the over-unders, how tight they stay together. That's definitely what you want to see.
Really quick transitions on all of these points.
Sydney shows her experience right there. They drifted a little bit close to the glass. She gives a little kick off the glass, totally legal. Nothing wrong with that. It helps her actually move laterally even faster. Watch right here. When she goes over, her right foot's going to kick on the glass. Right, no, she's not close enough to do it that time, though. When she can, she'll take advantage of it.
They're having an exceptional round right now.
Yeah, they look like they might be the team to beat so far. Oh, little bobble right there.
It's okay. Might be after working time is up. And again, a little play before the exit. Nicely done, guys.
The Roans. Our version of Benifer. Doesn't look like they're taking it too serious. Nice to see the smiles.
Ben always smiling. I don't think I've ever seen him not smile.
Yeah, he's a good energy to have around.
Yes, for sure.
Doesn't hurt that he's one of the best flyers in the world either.
No.
I've had the opportunity to fly with him many, many times over the years, and he's always taught me something new each time. Always willing to share that knowledge. And hey, look how good his wife flies. He's definitely rubbing off on her.
For sure.
I wish they would have called it Team Benifer.
I think they were Team Romance last year, weren't they?
I want to see, they might have been. I want to see a team that doesn't do a back layout when the working time is over. All right, guys, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back for round. Oh, excuse me, we're not taking a break. We're going to go to replays, and then we're going to get into round two. We need to let the judges have a few minutes to tally up the scores for round one. But for right now, let's look back at some of the action.
So this is looking at some of the highlights from round one. Awesome job by our camera crew here to give us all the angles and the replays that we need to see.
We are a leading energy firm that specializes in increasing our clients' operating margins by reducing their cost per unit energy expenditures. We're also energy brokers who negotiate competitive energy buying opportunities achieved through our sound analysis of global energy issues, initiatives, and strategic insights into evolving markets. And our advocacy efforts are specifically geared to benefit the financial interests of our clients.
Oh, cool.
All right, and we are back. So we took a short break there. We are coming back to you now with round 2 of VFS. We're going to start off again with the rookie class and work right through the rounds again, just like we did for the first round, round 1. This round, you're going to see the competitors do slightly different maneuvers as the draws change round to round. Here's a nice up-close shot of Yulia. She's an instructor here at iFLY Virginia Beach.
Where's she from?
Yulia is from the Ukraine.
From Ukraine. Nice. I want to thank her. She showed me where the coffee was this morning. All right, here we go. The start of round 2. Again, the mother-son team. Arizona double trouble. Mary and Nick Trout.
So you'll see how this draw differs from the last draw, where they have some over-under maneuvers as well as some opposing.
Sorry guys, bear with us at home. We're working out some technical difficulties here momentarily. But that was a great round 2, double trouble. All right, now we're getting into the intermediate category. This is Team Epic Air. James and Charlie out of iFLY Atlanta.
This to me is awesome. 2 young kids flying in there, having a good time.
Just like the big boys. Again, that's the nice thing about indoor skydiving that iFLY provides. Fun for the whole family. You know, look, they've got to be 10-ish, 10 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, doesn't matter. It's a low impact, high excitement activity that doesn't require you to be super athletic. It can help at times, but this is something the whole family can do. And in my experience as an instructor, for first-time flyers, the adult women are the best.
For sure. It's not even close.
They relax. You know, we're men. We
tend to muscle everything.
Yeah, we like to try really hard, but when you relax and you let the wind do the work, then you see, oh, okay, I don't have to try so hard. I can you know, let the wind do it for me and learn to use that to my advantage instead of trying to use my strength.
Now in the tunnel, Team 150 built overnight. Courtney Moore and Mike Earl. Mike with that tinted visor on. Can't see his eyes.
I call those the antisocial visors. I hated coaching somebody with one of those. You can't tell if they're responding to your coaching. Because clearly, for those of you that aren't very familiar with indoor skydiving or tunnel flying, you can't talk in the wind. It's way too loud. So everything is based on reading lips and hand signals. And when somebody's got a tinted visor like that, you can't tell if they're picking up what you're throwing down.
You don't know if you're getting a blank stare or a look of confidence.
Yeah, so if you're out there listening at home and you get coaching, do not wear a tinted visor. Your coach, even if they don't say it, trust me, they don't like it. And you know, you'll get more out of the coaching if you guys can clearly and more easily communicate in the tunnel.
Yeah, good feedback is always necessary.
As will the competitors here. If they get a clear understanding of, you know, somebody might be giving somebody the eye, no, not yet. You know, you want to be able to see that, and I think you're going to find more success with the people with clear visors and easy communication. But part of that communication comes with experience and training time together.
For sure.
You know, you learn each other's tendencies and habits, things like that.
Cues, absolutely. Now, in the tunnel, we have Team 151, Stop Touching Me.
I don't necessarily agree with the team name. I think they want to touch each other right here. That's kind of the name of the game.
That's it. This round looks like it's going to be a pretty quick round.
Yeah, they're having a little trouble, it seems like, when they get to the sequence where he transitions from back to belly and then has to grab both feet. Yeah, see, he's struggling a little bit to find that far leg, where, as you saw, Sydney earlier was pushing the far leg closer to her partner to make it more accessible and easier to grab.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And again, it just comes with experience, presenting your legs to your partner, creating a little bit less work and a little bit less space. All right, now on the clock, we have Team 152, Pink Glitter Unicorns. iFLY Loudon, let's see how they handle this draw. It's a little wobbly in the beginning. They're slowing down and smoothing it out right now.
Yeah, the more they can stay on one level and not have that vertical separation, as you mentioned earlier, the more success they're going to have and the more efficient they're going to be. But it's difficult because, as you know, when you're on your back, it typically takes a bit more wind speed to hold you up, at least in the beginning when you're learning how to fly on your back. So the wind speed obviously isn't changing throughout this, so their body position has to change. So they need to be able to make that adjustment in the transition. That way they don't get any of that vertical separation and can stay even closer to their partner for the next grip.
That's a really good point.
Those are the only kind I make. All right, Team Heavy Metal out of iFLY Sacramento.
Here we go. This is our first team in the two-way VFS Advanced.
Alicia and Haig. I like that name.
Perspective for all you viewers at home.
The instructor view. Had that view many times, hours and hours and hours over the years.
Hours and days of our lives.
But hey, you know what? It's the best view to have.
It's an awesome one.
Being in the wind, there's nothing like it.
All right. We are moving right along through these rounds here. Again, entering the tunnel. You'll see them setting up in the door, taking their grips right now. Team 201, Cunning Stunts, out of Paraclete XP, Lauren and Ashley.
I will not say that. I do not trust myself to get it right.
That was a really good example of what a little bit of experience is going to do for you. You see Lauren there really presenting her leg nicely to Ashley for that grip. You'll see it again right here. There you go. Good job of getting that leg over, giving Ashley less room to move.
You must help each other.
That's it. Teamwork.
Don't make it more difficult. Help me out. Put your leg over here so I can grab it easier. I like it. I like to see the differences. You won't see everybody do it the same, especially as we get to the higher level in the open categories. A lot of it will look similar in their approach to the engineering, but the people that are going to stand out and compete for that top spot are the ones who are going to do things a little bit different, and you know, everybody else can say, hey, why didn't I think of that?
Absolutely. It's all those little subtleties that you're alluding to that make all the differences. We're going to separate first and second place, second and third, and so on. Now we got Team 202. VA Beach 2, Severin and Dominic. Looking really good, guys.
How old are these guys, Dan?
I want to say
I think Severin's 12 or 13,
12 or 13.
Jason was saying.
Dominic is around the same age.
God, imagine by the time they're, you know, in their late teens, they're going to be
they're going to be
more than I could have ever been.
light years beyond what I could ever dream of being in the tunnel.
They can already probably outfly me.
So I saw Dominic for the first time in about 9 months, and
Was he bigger than before?
so much bigger. He's probably grown 4 or 5 inches since I've seen him last. And when I saw him, I almost didn't recognize him. These kids are growing up so quick, but they got those nice flex jumpsuits to give them a little bit of breathing room, get a little bit more time out of them. This way, mom and dad don't have to go back and buy a new one every 3 months.
Oh, little bounce off the net on the entrance there, but shouldn't hurt them too bad.
Maybe
It's the tactical unicorns.
maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there.
Wasn't very tactical.
Maybe using the net was part of the strategy.
Yeah, who knows?
So Daniela and Kira in there now.
Love the white jumpsuit. Looks good. Great for tunnel flying. Not so good for skydiving unless you want to have a green butt. You better be able to stand up your landings.
Every one of them.
A buddy of mine bought a white rig for his very first rig. It didn't stay white very long.
Nobody helped him out and told him that was a mistake, huh?
Apparently not. Tell you what wasn't a mistake. The 2018 Indoor Skydiving Championships, the National Indoor Skydiving Championships, excuse me, here at iFLY Virginia Beach. We're very happy to be back here. Last year was awesome, and this year is already proving to be an even better show. And Dan and I are thrilled to be here to call this competition for you guys at home and have some fun.
All right. In the tunnel now, our first open team in two-way VFS. Team Touch and Go, flying out of SF Bay. So as we go through each individual
each individual round?
not each individual round, each individual division, excuse me. It's a little early here. You'll see the draws getting a little bit more complex. The points that they're taking are going to be more complex, but the level of flying is going to be a little bit higher.
Right. And to springboard off what you're referring to right here, as you see the category and the level of difficulty increase, you also see that level of engineering increase as well. And these guys were really good about presenting grips to the other flyer and making it even easier for them. So, oh, wow.
This is an interesting entrance. I don't know if we're going to see this from any other team. Here we go. Team 251, double vision.
Nice.
Very nicely done.
And that's that engineering we're just referring to. Couldn't have timed it better. Ah, see, Lane does the front layout to go belly to back. See, you don't have to roll over. You can do a flip if you want to. Most of the time, the flip is considered slower, but because of the engineering, again, Lane's one of the best flyers in the world. He's engineered it in a way that fits his partner's skill level and also the different body types. It's not going to be the same for each team.
These guys are flying really, really smooth.
Yeah, this is my favorite one so far.
And it looks like working time's up. They know it.
How are we going to play? You know, this might not count for the score, but hey, it's some practice and it's definitely fun.
Definitely having a good time. Nice and relaxed. Couple of flip twists, and now they are out. All right, let's see what Bobby and Allie here can put together for this dive. Team 252, 14K. Allie with that nice artwork on her helmet, all drawn by herself.
Really?
Yep. She's an awesome artist. We got a couple pieces in our house that she did. that helmet is one-of-a-kind design.
Very cool. She could probably start a business with that.
Should. Looks like these guys are turning points pretty well. I know they only had maybe 2 training days, and at that, maybe 30 minutes of tunnel time together.
Yeah, last-minute pickup team for sure.
But they are doing good, making this round work.
Well, Bobby's a long-time instructor, and Allie's been flying for a while as well. So they definitely have the skills, but as you mentioned before, the skills at times can not be enough by themselves. It's that familiarity with your partner and knowing their tendencies and habits and cues.
Absolutely, that makes a huge difference. Let's see.
They don't look like there are any issues with that.
No.
Hey,
they've definitely flown
it's
together.
meant to be.
Yeah, quite a bit.
This could be the start of something beautiful.
All right, Team 253, Recreational Hazard XP. Joey Baker, Tracy Holman.
Ooh, a little bounce on the net right there.
And again, slight variation there, even from what we saw from the last 2 competitors. On that double leg dock, he's kind of coming a little bit more across the side body, where Bobby was staying a little bit more parallel to Allie. Create a little bit more separation for these guys, eating up a little bit more clock time, but just the way they're flying it. Again, it goes back to experience and ability level, and just knowing your partner. But nice, smooth, consistent round with these guys. All right, we got 2 more teams up on the block for this last round of 2A VFS Open. And then we are going to go to a short break, and we will be right back into round 3 of VFS. After we get through round 3, we're going to have a longer break, and we are going to move right on into the first few rounds of dynamic flying, 2-way dynamic, that is. So
right now, the iFLY Denver girls in the tunnel.
Sydney Kennett
and Rainey Schmaltz.
Let's see how these guys are going to put this dive flow together.
So far, Lane and James, the only ones to have the front layout portion.
Smooth and consistent here from Sydney and Rainey.
Slow and steady wins the race. In my experience, I competed a couple times in the past and obviously flew a bunch during my time as an instructor. And what I noticed was the faster you try and go, the more difficult it is. Right? If you approach it methodically and a little bit slower, you're going to be much more efficient, and in turn, the clock time is going to be much better for you.
There's no question about that. I couldn't say it better myself. 255, the Roans. Let's see how Jen and Ben engineer this dive.
So Jen choosing to do the back to belly transition over the feet as opposed to the barrel roll.
And that really depends a lot on...
Right there?
Yep, a lot on Ben presenting and making sure his leg's in the right spot. As soon as she transitions over, she's reaching, his leg is right there, and they're not wasting any time getting right back to the next point.
Yeah, you'll see as she goes from back to belly, she's reaching for his leg, and not before she's even down on her belly that way. Right there, as soon as she falls right into place.
There we go. That is going to do it for round number 2 of 2A Open VFS. We are going to move right into a quick 2-minute commercial break here. We will come back live to you from 2018 U.S. National Indoor Skydiving Competition here at iFLY Virginia Beach. We'll see you in a few.
Mesa Corporation is a multi-divisional company that takes a holistic approach to packaging and printing. Mesa's print facilities are supported by a world-class team of graphic artists utilizing the latest pre-press technology. From concept to design, production to delivery, our state-of-the-art facilities are properly equipped to meet all of your flexographic offset or digital print needs. After your labels have been printed, it's time to package. Our team can customize a packaging and equipment solution for any product or application, and further support you by delivering the supplies your company uses every day. Use our proven products and services in your own production facility, or outsource everything to our turnkey contract packaging group, allowing you to focus on growing sales. Mesa will leverage our printing, distribution, and contract packaging expertise to get the job done right. Mesa Corporation, the complete package.
Come and join me. We'll teach the world to fly. Will you come and join me? I'll fly you to the sky. Jump on in, it's time to fly. Let imagination go wild. Jump on in and take my hand. Run a little bit till you catch the wind. Run a little bit until you catch the wind.
All right, guys, here we go. We're back for round number 3 for the 2018 U.S. Indoor Skydiving Competition here at iFLY Virginia Beach.
We have team number 100, our only rookie class team, Arizona Double Trouble, getting in there for their 3rd round. I believe it's their 3rd and